closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Run! It's just the damn beat! DJ Ham, the stamp. DJ Ham, the stamp.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. DJ Ham, the Stampede in the building. We waiting for the other ladies. We couldn't wait any longer. Salute to Tiff and Callie for being here front and center. Man, salute to Dr. G. Dr. G, I thought you was at bowling or billiards. Is that the same thing? No, billiards is billiards
Pool.
and pool is the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, Dr. G usually have billiards or some shit. Unless I think if she lose, she go home. I think something like that. She must have lost. Salute Dr. G, man. So I see this all the time, man. We gonna get right to it, man. The other ladies will be here. You know what I'm saying? Salute everybody in the chat real quick. I got Dr. G in the building. Leon, TC the Don, what up, my you? Hope everything's golden. Aaron, Shalom, Dallas, what up? I missed you in the afternoon, kid. Mike Brown was popping. Okay. Well, Dr. G, let me know if you want to join us, man. We'll shoot you the link. Nightbot, what's up? We got Yaz in the building. We got to get Yaz on here one time, man. You know what I mean? Angel, I see you. Mel, you already know. 100 is popping. O'Shea in the building. Salute, Dr. Williams. It's crazy. Mr. Williams, salute. Ms. Bells, O'Shea in the building. D Majesty, of course. Pete's was popping. O'Shea, appreciate you, man. Millennials. Yo. What's goody?
Wow.
Yo, what's good, man? What's popping, man? Salute to the Millennials versus the world, man. We had a great time. This might be risky. Was able to go over there, show support. I had an awesome time on that panel. Mims runs a hell of a panel, man. If y'all could, please go like, share, and subscribe, man. Salute. We definitely got to do a collab, man. We got to bring the Millennials versus the World cast over here one time. You know what I mean? And that'd be fun. Mims, I'm gonna hit you tomorrow, kid, because we gotta do what's that called? A debrief. You know what I'm saying? So salute, man. Please drop that link in the chat periodically, man. They growing. They doing a lot of shit outside, like really outside, bringing people together. So it's a blessing, man, for sure, man. Shalom, Ak, what's popping? Relly in the building, was goody. I see you, homeboy. Shalom. Salute to the 70 people in the building so far. Let's get it popping, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Dr. G, let me know. Matter of fact, I'll shoot this link real quick. I'll just drop it in the chat. I know Relly might be tired. She was in the cooking on the panel, cooking on the Discord. You know what I'm saying? She getting old and all that. Ain't nothing like 31. Feel me? So that link was for Dr. G, and if Sherelle want to join just by proxy, you know what I'm saying? So as we wait for the other ladies. Truth, what up, kid? Good to see you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this is important, man. Okay? Thinking caps are necessary. Okay? Put the biases aside and let's look at the information. All right? The information is of the utmost importance. You heard? Understanding what information is being leveraged and how. Her money doesn't matter. You heard it, right, Callie? It was said, like, in terms of dating and attractiveness, how much money she make doesn't matter, right? You can get her out of Mickey D's if she got the right disposition and she's pretty enough, you know? Obviously, that's said in hyperbole, meaning the money that she generates doesn't sway me one way or the other if I like her or not, right? That's not one of the determining factors for most men, right? Did I frame it correctly without the hyperbole?
Yes.
Well, is there a caveat? What you think? Is there anything else I missed in terms of trying to frame it appropriately?
No, not that I can tell. No.
Okay. Tiff, is there anything that I missed in terms of framing that, getting her out of Mickey D's and etc.? Okay.
No, it sounds accurate.
Okay. So that's generally what we hear, and that's what's meant, although it's taken every which way, right? The extreme one way or the other, you know? But we know that most families, 90% of people, right? Would you say, are dual income households? The men and women are working.
Yes.
That's fair. They can't hear you nodding too.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. So the money does indeed matter, right? We had to kind of
Mhm.
press on when so many black women lost their jobs, upwards of what is it now, 400,000? That's a lot,
Yeah.
Right about. Right.
you know. Um, and I'm thinking about that when we look at 2023. The marriage rates are slightly steady. I looked at it. I talked to a statistician. Y'all may know, a Medium Man. He actually did a video on this as well, right? Black men married. What's wrong? Is something wrong with my mic?
It was for a second. It cleared up
Good.
now, though.
I'm good now.
Yeah, you're good now on my end. I don't know about the audience.
Oh, I think I might have been waving and shit. I got it kind of low. So black men rates marriage 39%. Black women 29%. I don't like that statistic as it stands, right? I'm definitely for marriage, but I would like to see us married to each other, right?
Hmm.
The projection in a couple years, this is a projection, right? Everybody understands, but I'm not saying you guys don't. I just want to make sure everybody understands a projection or a forecast, right? That's what we often see. You get a 10-day forecast, they're looking at the patterns, and based on the patterns, right, they'll surmise that this is probable to happen. Does it always happen? No, but it's a projection or a forecast, right? The
Hmm.
forecast is that in a couple years, black men will be married to black women at 77%, down from 84%. There's a divide. Small increments, but a divide nonetheless. Be quiet, big baby. If someone owes me $100, they can't give me $77. How about you?
No, yeah, agreed.
Right. So I get it. It's a majority that are still married, but nevertheless, you can't give me $77. Now we got a divide that's starting to go ahead, Tiff. You disagree? You taking 70? I'm not taking that short.
No, I'm just listening to you as you do the math.
Okay. Um, and so when we look at, we had the whole 20. That's what's up, Miles, man. My dog been getting on my nerves, man. This dude, might tear his ass up today. But when I'm looking at it, right, we got the 2053 projection and all that, we always hear the numbers, but we never looked at them in real time. I'm like, what is the epidemic? 400,000 jobs, 90% black women lost. No, 400,000 black women lost them jobs, right?
Hmm.
That ain't nothing to sneeze at. 500,000 people,
Yeah.
you know?
I didn't realize that many black women were employed by the government because I think those federal jobs took a heavy, heavy hit.
Yeah, big time, right? So it said that black women's, what is it? What's was it? Not well. What's the word I'm looking for? Their
Net worth.
net worth. Did y'all hear what it was? What it
Probably
It's
is?
like last
it's
time I heard it was like $5 or something like that.
it's
What do
gotta
y'all
be
think?
it's
Go
gotta
ahead.
be is it I would think it's a net negative with the student loans.
Say it again, sis. Sorry.
I said with the student loans, I would think it's almost at a net negative.
I
Oh,
think
you're
that was
saying,
including the student loans,
yeah,
the
that's
five
including
dollars.
student loans.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll take all that into consideration and
Okay.
then hence give you a net worth. If you guys ever get a chance, and this is just a side thing, download like Rocket Mortgage. It'll give you a net worth. You put all your stuff in, or like Rocket.com, and it'll
Hmm.
track a bunch of stuff from you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So if I type this in and I'm in Chat GPT, right? Let me share the screen.
Ooh, let me get my glasses. Jesus.
Hmm. And I'm taking it slow. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be hyperbolic about the shit. We trying to see. All right. Black women's net worth in the United States. That's a fair? Is that fair, Google or chat?
It's fair.
So it says, here's what the latest data tells us about black women's net worth in the United States, which shows alarming disparities rooted in systemic inequalities. Okay. Key data points. Asset and net worth levels. A 2023 Urban Institute analysis found that black women have average total assets of about 93,221 and a median net worth of 18,573 compared to 251,856 average assets and 74,000 median net worth for all women. Okay. In terms of retirement savings, black women hold just 11,000 on average, with the median being zero. Again, trailing behind all women and even behind black men. Single black women. According to the National Women's Law Center, a never married black woman owns just 8 cents for every dollar that a never married white woman owns. 8
White
cents. 8 cents. Right? That's the National Women's Law Center. This disproportionate reliance on high cost loans and systemic liabilities further exacerbate financial precarity for black women. 8 cents. And it makes a distinction with single women. Right? Now, these numbers aren't as crazy as what we thought or saw. The website that it gave us here was the Urban Institute. And this is 2023. So 2 years later, it could have dropped, right? You know, but maybe we can do another search if somebody has a better how you say, like a phrase or whatever, a prompt. Maybe my prompt isn't good enough, you know, but I kept it general
Do
just
Africa
because I didn't want to skew the potential. Go ahead.
do African American women net worth?
African American. You think that'll make a difference? Okay.
I would. I'm just interested to even see if it does.
Okay. So the single part, and you see, we just briefly discussed marriage rates, right? And the single part seems to be a huge issue, right? A huge issue. There's a unique and disproportionate disparity there with them being single. 8 cents to every dollar. 8 cents to every dollar. Right? So what you guys thoughts on that point specifically? We already have bad spending habits. I think we can all agree on that. You're on mute, Kelly.
But I mean, the reality is the reality. But the other thing is, it's systemic issues as well. Like, we don't make a dollar for dollar.
Well, I
What you
was
mean?
just curious. Oh,
Okay.
my bad. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Tiff.
When they're doing wages and saying they're breaking it down, like a white man normally makes a dollar for a dollar, and then for each individual person, the rate of the dollar is reduced. So if it's already reduced systemically, you know that you should be aware that you're coming in at a deficit already, but we have to acknowledge that you're coming in on a deficit of no bearing of your own. You don't make the same cost per dollar at all.
So you're saying what are you pointing out, that there's just a disparity in income?
Yes, because if she's making the same amount, if her dollar is as strong as even a white woman's dollar, what does that change
So
economically?
are you speaking age gap, or not age gap, wealth gap, or not
Salary.
wealth gap, but
So in Chat GTP, just as what do black women make per dollar per white men, and it should give a breakout, so it will give clarity of what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So I
Well,
also put in. Go ahead, Kelly.
I was gonna say I thought that it was 77 cents per dollar for all women. I didn't know if it broke it down by race or anything, but it was just women. Period was 77 cents per dollar for a man.
It breaks it down.
But you want to see what it is we compare to white men, or you want to see what it is what we compare to white women? Because I think that would be more so of an
Yeah,
equivalent if
we
we
can look at
compare it
that.
to white women.
I think
But I was
Mm.
also curious too. Before then, I'm wondering if that 8 cents for Black women is bringing down the average for Black women of that $11,000 net worth.
I'm sure,
If that
right?
probably.
it's all together. The
It
first one
has
is
to
all
be
together,
because
like
they
all
would
women.
still be in there, you know.
Okay, okay, that's what I was curious about. All right.
So we can also put an age prompt in, but I think that women would be 18 and up, right? So
Yeah, that's to be fair.
so
Yeah.
here's so I put African American in. Single black African American women. When narrowed to single women, the disparities are even more pronounced. Okay. This is where I think they get the stat from. Salute the Hakeem. Salute the Sunshine coming in. Mel was popping. Tin Curl, Ninja Cool. Salute my G. Nameless protagonist. I see I'm in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We slow rolling today so we can get an understanding. Okay. Single black African American women. When narrowed to single women, the disparities are even more pronounced. A 2019 snapshot shows single black women had a median wealth of $1,700 compared to 10,100 for single black men. Historical data, okay, so this is historical from 2013. Reported that the single black women had a median wealth of just $200, while single Latina women had 100. But that's 2013.
But
So we go ahead.
you you said we're kind of taking it down. I was just saying, even in this, you see immediately $100 gap, and it's not like it's. That's why I want to know the earnings
Okay.
because
What's the prompt? Give me the prompt. We put it in right now.
um, what is the black woman's dollar worth versus everyone else? Or in the labor force, what is black women's value in comparison to her peers?
Value.
I
Like,
think you're asking
Well,
like how many cents per dollar does a black
yeah,
woman earn
but
versus
per
a white
other
man?
women. Well,
okay,
you could
okay.
say other women because you see it broke
Other
down to
women.
the Latinos.
What? All right, tell me the prompt.
How many cents per dollar do black women earn versus other women?
Not to ask to oppose to. Come on, SAT.
I'm just trying to type it.
I know
Um,
you giving us that good SAT paragraph. Come on.
well, I wanted to make sure I said exactly how she prompted it. You know what I mean? The prompt matters to this system. Now here's the thing, right? I wonder what this means or how much it matters.
It matters.
Simply because the numbers are still the numbers. You know, I mean, we can assess it, but
Hmm.
here's my concern: if we're now blaming it, not blaming it, but if we're saying a large component is systemic, that's almost alleging we can't change it
No.
a little bit, or it has to be changed through I'm not sure what, right?
So
Yeah, go P.
So my point in bringing this up is sometimes you have to show people a real reality, and even though you're making it, you still not making it like other women. And if you are saying that you want to level yourself up, part of leveling yourself up, it's going to have to be in a marriage. So when you show a real reality and not a talking point of regardless of what you do, you make 64 cents to the dollar. Somebody else makes a whole dollar. So you have a 40 cents gap to make up. You have to do that in partnership in a marriage.
So okay, so earnings compared to white men. which is the white men are always the dollar, right? And then it goes up or past her. So in 2023, black women earned just 64 cents for every dollar earned by white men when considering all workers with earnings. Among full-time year-round workers, the rate was slightly higher, 66.5 cents per dollar. Earnings compared to white women in other groups. According to 2023 American Women's and the Wage Gap report, white non-Hispanic women earned 73 cents per dollar for every white man's earnings. Black women earn approximately 64 cents. So it's higher than Latino women, higher than Native American women. I don't know what AAPI is, women. So it's about 9 cents lower than white women. And it doesn't have, where's the Asian women? But I think Asian women are at like
Yeah.
$1.10 or something.
Well, they would be the white non-Hispanic.
No,
Asian.
Asian.
They classify as white. The classification for them, ask for the breakout. But if you look, you can. We don't have to go there. That's down the rabbit hole. Either way it goes, sometimes you have to just look at the reality. And even if she's making 15 or 10 cents more, even her husband is still making a full dollar. So if we're ever to build black families, build black wealth, create labor, is going to the way that we know we can ensure it is getting into healthy marriages with other black men, like as a woman.
Well, here's before that though. There's choices that are being made though. I hesitate on blaming it on systematic issues because our choices go into these numbers.
What do you mean?
So like what do we choose to do? Right? We had this conversation. What fields are we choosing that allow us to make or not make, or what is our ceiling? What is the plateau of particular fields? What do we do for a living? Because if I'm working full time and John, whoever, right, John White Boy is working full time, but his full time work, he gets paid more than me because of the field. Do I then make a complaint about wage discrepancies or a gap? Because it's contingent on my choices too. Right now, if we're literally working the same job, I got an argument. You see, but if there's a gap because of my choices, is that the argument?
What choices are you saying? Like degree? Like you talking about education fields where
Edu-
people?
it could be education. It could be the type of entrepreneurship. All of it matters into the bottom line of this 65 cents.
Well, see, that's why I would compare it to other women as opposed to comparing it to men because we don't do the same jobs as men do. So compare it to
Mhm.
other women would be a more fair comparison.
Yeah. So
Um,
so here it is, Callie. The women, right? It said the white women were making 9 cents more.
Mm,
hmm So I would chop that up to just the disparity in net worth. I would chop that. It have to be spending choices, not so much job fields. If you know what I'm saying, 9 cents is not that big of a jump to
Yeah.
blame it on. You know what I mean? Anything else other than because we know we work in the same kind of jobs basically.
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
can't. You have to chop it up to spending habits.
Yeah. Okay. I
And
see what you're
or
saying.
and then it also said too that over reliance on student loans
Mm-hmm.
as well. And we have to rely on that more so than what they do. So that also plays a part into it.
Yeah.
I'm there, but to a point, because if we know a lot of times interest rates are different based on sometimes and like where you can finance plays a big role. I think a lot of what a Black Americans women's debt seems to be is home. Like they're not poor because they have bad spending habits. Like that's a lot to kind of just throw out there like that.
Well, here's where we are. Here's the truth. The numbers are what they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and it was in comparison to other women, it's 10 cents lower. The white women, I know Asian is probably it's probably almost 40 cents lower. The Asian women, because I think they're at like $1.10, and then the other Pacific Islanders, Latinas, it's about 10, 15 cents higher. So you know, and then the single women, as we look at the graph, these are numbers from 2019, 2021. 1,700 median net worth single. The black household 24,000 together. The black men single $10,000 in net worth. Black women $1,700 in net worth. You know, so there's a disparity there, and then black men make a little bit more money. I think it's maybe like 8 cents or so. So what do we do with this numbers, or do we need to process another prompt? Do you guys have a prompt that you want me to put in?
I don't have a prompt. What that says to me is that in order for us to make that monthly income, in order to have those jobs or whatever, in order for us to survive, like on a on a day to day basis, we have to go ahead and get those degrees. Whereas the type of jobs that men have, when it comes to like trades and stuff like that, that financial toll is not as much.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Hmm.
it's a whole lot easier to pay for, for to go to trade school or something like that,
Less
and be able
expensive.
to live right. It'd be less expensive to live day to day, or have, a certain, be able to afford a certain lifestyle on a monthly basis with that kind of job field, as opposed to us. If we want to live that same type of lifestyle, we would have to take out a student loan, or get, what I'm saying, get a degree in order to
Mm-hmm.
have that same thing by
Yeah.
ourselves.
Right.
So
Can you?
that's go ahead.
No, no. I was just to what you're saying into the spending habits. Then it goes back to him talking about the degrees that we pick and the return on the investment. But also, can we look and see Black women's spending habits?
Okay. Let me see this prompt. So this one is more
Okay, financial behaviors.
okay. You want to read that one?
Yeah, let's go for this one.
All right. So financial behaviors and debt pressures. Unsecured debt prevalence in 2021. Households headed by black individuals so this is everybody were more likely to carry unsecured debt 61.3% compared to white 53%, especially student loans 25.8 to 17.2, and medical debt 22% to 13%. Student debt burden. Black borrowers, especially women, carry heavy student loan burdens. Be quiet. Carry heavier student loan burdens. Black graduates owe significantly more on average than white peers, about $7,400 more. 12 years after college, black women's loan balances had increased by 13% compared to 44% of the balance paid off by white men.
Wow.
With the resumption of federal student collectives, black women remain disproportionately impacted due to higher balances and lower earnings. And our prompts are fair. They're just literally generally asking.
Hmm. Can you go to the putting it into perspective?
Yes. Putting it into perspective, debt burden versus income. Although precise DTI ratios for black women aren't clearly reported, combining the above suggests, so this is a slight assumption, higher relative debt burdens due to larger student loan balances, more unsecured and medical debt, and higher delinquency rates. Lower earnings. Black women earn substantially less than men and white women, compounding the burden. For example, black women earn only 64 to 69 cents for every dollar white men make. That's the Urban Institute that we saw earlier, right? These factors together indicate that the debt represents a significantly large share of income for black women compared to many other groups, though a specific percentage is not publicly available. So what we doing?
I would say the only systemic thing that I see would be the lack of two-parent households that all of these people are coming from. And I'm saying women specifically because we have to get the degree in order to live that certain, you know what I'm saying, middle class lifestyle. So
Mm,
if you don't have that two-person household, they can't help you fund no college in order to get the degree and try to keep that debt down. So that to me explains the
hmm.
higher student loan debt that you would have. Um, that's the only systemic thing that I would see, really,
Hmm. So you're
honestly.
saying the fields, or sorry, the lack of having that two parent support, you got to take out more loans and etc.
Hmm.
Right, because if the net worth of the total family is 24,000 compared to a single mother household with 1,700, I mean it's like that's significant. That's significantly less, most definitely. So that means less money that that single woman would have in order to help fund their children's college education.
Right.
That's basically going to be needed if she wants to live a pretty decent lifestyle.
Okay. Yeah. So
Will you go up to the field of study where you a little bit more? That part right there.
let's read this one.
So, yeah, please.
Degree field representation amongst Black women. According to data from the American Association of the University of Women, a share of degrees awarded to Black women within the Black student population across degree level is Black bachelor's degrees. Black women earn 64% of all those awarded to Black students. So 64% for Black people are women. Master's degrees, Black women account for 71.5%. Doctor, medical, and dental degrees, Black women represent 65.9%. That's Wikipedia. That shows among Black students, women consistently earn larger shares of degrees at each level. So this is in comparison just Black men to Black women, though.
Hmm.
So I don't know, is this that slightly insignificant?
No, I
Well,
think
it doesn't. It
It
doesn't.
would at the very least it debunks the whole you're just the most enrolled, you're not getting degrees. If anything, it just debunks that, but the fact remains is that we
Well,
need those degrees compared to men in order to live a similar lifestyle.
right that
well,
people
so
like can do trade school.
so
Hmm.
well, anybody can do trade school. You know, it's who's likely to do trade school. I think is the now. Here's the thing. This is compared to Black men, though,
Mm.
Yeah.
right? So I don't know if it debunks like over directly, Callie, that Black women get the most degrees, but it does say that they get more degrees than Black men.
Yeah,
You
I don't
see,
think
because
she's
Well, yeah, I'm just saying as far as
the most
the
enrolled.
enrolling, right? The
Like,
enrolling but not getting degrees, they just enrolled. It just
right,
debunks that point. That's
they
all it
are,
does.
they are going to school and getting degrees, but I think the field
well,
of study.
Right.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. It's compared to Black men, and then how many Black men are enrolled. You see, so if you beating out a demographic that doesn't go to college overwhelmingly, I don't know if
No,
you see.
no, yeah, yeah. No, I'm just saying they can't say that we enrolled and not getting degrees. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, well, degrees are being obtained. I guess it just want how many degrees amongst the entire populace. So, you know what would be a good, you know what be you know what be good for this, Cali? Out of Black women who are enrolled, how many get a degree? 'Cause that's really what we're trying to see.
That's
You see,
That's fair,
because
but
this
I'm
is
gonna need them
comparing
to
to
be
Black
more
men.
specific about their little about trying to
that's
beam
how
women over the head about you just enrolled, you ain't getting no degrees. Shut the hell
right
up,
Mhm.
because they
because
Yeah,
getting them. It says right here. Okay, just
yeah,
leave us
they're
alone.
being obtained. But just to be clear, right? Because I want to make sure, because we are looking at the numbers. This is compared to Black men only.
okay.
Hmm.
So the most degreed or the most educated or the most enrolled, see, the most part is what we need to define, and now we got to include other groups.
Yeah,
And we
because I've heard both. I've heard most as compared to black men, and I've heard most as compared to everybody. I don't know which one is true.
Hmm?
we
All
can
I
do
know is
the can we
stop
do that?
saying that we just
This
enrolled and not getting no damn degree.
that part. Can we do this and go to where you're saying as far as enrollment or achievement, just black women's degree attainment versus all others?
I mean, I kind of want to stay here because it's a little
Yeah,
bit irrelevant to the
yeah.
overall point
Yeah,
as
it's the
far as
overall point.
combining
And
income.
so when we look at field level distribution, all women versus black women, again, it's that same um, women's university thing, right? Fast facts: women of color in higher ed, database 21 to 22 figures. Biological science, black women represent 4.2% of degree holders in this field. Computer science, just 2.6%. Physical science, 2.8%. Mathematics and statistics, 2.3%. Engineering, under 1%. To clarify, these percentages represent the share of degree holders in each field who are black women, not the share of black women among all degree earners. In other
Hmm.
words, if you look at all students' earning degrees in engineering, only about 1% are black women.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And so I think it calls these fields out because, just to be frank, this is where the money's at,
Mhm.
Hmm.
right? And so the fact that there's low enrollment in these fields, the fair correlation is that it goes into wage demographic. I don't know if demographic is the right word, but wage disparities,
Disparity.
Hmm.
right?
Most deaf.
So you know, so what do we actually do with that? And so it has the same ones down here, right? It's this is a summary, you know.
Why does what does it say? Want to go further? I don't use Chat GPT, so I'm interested. This is I'll play with it later.
Oh, wait. Why does this matter? Read that one. Read that part. It's probably going to say the same thing that we just said.
Why this matters? These statistics highlight the intersectional barriers Black women face in disproportionately underrepresented fields like engineering and computing. The combination of low representation of both women and Black individuals compounds inequity. Understands these patterns help focus efforts on creating more inclusive recruitment, support programs, and career pipelines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
This,
that's what you said. We just ain't going over there.
Yep.
this, yeah, but this, what now? Here's what I have to call out ChatGPT. ChatGPT, stop caping.
Wow.
And the reason why I say that is because of what I said earlier. These are choices. You
Mm,
can go into these fields. You can apply, right? You don't have to not go into computer science, but we choose psychology instead. We choose criminal justice instead. These are choices, right? Because look what it's saying. Underrepresented? No, we not trying to be engineers.
Hmm.
The engineers I know are that are black, they went to school for engineering. That's what they applied for. You know,
Yeah.
when I was going sports management. I switched to general business management. I made that choice. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why I'm saying these are choices we're making. Nobody's forcing us to do the fields that we want to that we elect to do.
I mean, and you have the people that want to go ahead and go into the, community and be of some kind of service and help, but that's not enough people to account for it only being like, 1% of black women going into those fields.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, right, Callie? Like there's things that seem they're good, right? Social work and whatever the case is. I just wonder what's the saturation of that, and if it's saturated, you pay people less. You know, so if it's 1,000 lawyers, now I don't have to pay premium for a lawyer if they all need a job.
I wouldn't say, just from what I know, I would say that it's not saturated because they need more people. But as far as
Mhm.
saturation versus the amount of funding that's available, then I would have to agree with you.
Yeah, yeah, touche,
Hmm.
right? Because those people seem swamped,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know.
they are.
And now one thing I know though, Callie, and this is pure speculation. In those fields, I ain't never seen a motherfucker work 8 hours a day in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never
Um,
seen motherfuckers be twiddling their fingers on now, especially on their phones, yada yada yada. But from because sis is in that field too, so it seemed like they definitely have these heavy caseloads, and they hired just enough to max out them grants, them loan. You know what I mean? Like they're not
mhm.
gonna overhire, but it seems like they definitely need help because you can't really manage all those cases intimately,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then cases open, just very similar to like a adjuster, for insurance. The longer a
Mhm.
case is open or in limbo, they get dinged for that type of shit, which is kind of
Yeah.
oxymoronic for something that is involving people, you
Yeah,
know.
and I don't know what the caseload difference is between people who work directly with the state doing social work or people who work through an agency who receive Medicaid funds to provide the services. I don't know what that disparity is, but from what I know, both have, pretty heavy caseloads.
hmm So
And that
pumps
was,
that. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and that was before the cuts. Now with the cuts, it's super nuts.
Hmm. Yeah, pump saying that's what she does.
Excuse
It'll
Bless
be
me.
you.
interesting to get the
I couldn't
perspective. But
couldn't find my
when,
mute button. My
Bless
bad.
was there another prompt that I needed to put in?
you. You know, what do you suggest, or do you suggest black women, single black women, get married to increase income?
Chat GPT
Hmm.
based on what to produce income,
Hmm. To increase income or to increase net
wealth,
worth. Hmm.
network.
Increase worth. Wealth is probably better.
Okay. So
So don't
so
take the should, and then do wealth.
I don't know if it'll give it like this.
Wealth and take net worth and put wealth.
Mm, I guess it's an opinion.
Maybe do married black women versus single black women wealth. That
Well,
would
it
I
showed it. It was 25 to 1700,
mhm.
25K to 1700.
So what are your suggestions? Do you really think it's just a lack of picking the right things or making right choices?
So when we have the conversation, right? Here's the things that often get dismissed
Mm,
is what people are saying troubles them. So like
mm,
as an example, right?
mm,
I tried to look up the Ricky Lake stuff. I couldn't find it overwhelmingly, right?
mm,
But we had a couple brothers who aren't on the internet in the Discord. They were saying a lot of the same things,
mm,
just in terms of the issues that we having. And then we look at our money and the disparities and all that, you know. And I just wonder, like, a lot of people's concerns get dismissed. And here's what the future looks like, right? Because we see single people not doing as well. And
mm,
we see black men marrying out at a few clicks, a few clicks, a few clicks. And again, the projection is 40% marriage for black men, 77% of those men married to black women. Yeah, getting over. So, like, are the concerns real about the reasons why we can't get together? Or is it men just whining and crying, whining and complaining? And while all that's happening, we ain't making no money or keeping no money. And we progressively are getting worse, even though we make more. Inflation, cost of living, right? That incremental 2 or 3 thousand every year. It's still, I mean, it's just cost of living essentially. And to be a permanent underclass with black women suffering moreover, like what is the conversation? And we see married people doing better. I said a line in the Discord. Now I can't think of it. I think it's from a Ja Rule song, but it says something and I quoted it verbatim in the Discord, but it says something to the effect of whomever it was can take more risks because they got somebody to fall back on. They can go harder because they got somebody they can fall back on. You know, we already, to your point, don't have the families, right? We already don't. You just said there's no fathers and all that. You got to take out more loans because there's less familial support. And then now marriage ain't on the top of the totem pole. So what's really going on? Do we continue to ignore concerns? And then we look at things that really matter. There's a direct correlation. So I'm trying to understand this for people who can think. What do we do? Do we stay on our side of the issues and say fuck it and hope for the best and somebody gonna learn? Because I don't see staying separate being a huge benefit from what I gather. Are there any other prompts that we need in terms of these numbers?
I wanted to ask one, but I don't even want to go there.
Go ahead.
Success rate of marriages of black women married to black men, versus non-black men.
Okay. What's up, CC? What's up, Brick? What's up, Mel? I think I told you, Mel. Harrison was good. Pumps, I see you. So, all right. So, what was it?
I just want to see the success rates, or would you do the divorce rates? Divorce rates of what black women married to black men versus black women married to non-black men, because you want to get in a marriage and sustain it. So you want to make sure that you're going into the market, the dating market, knowledgeable about even who to drill down and partner with. Because if we're going to be strategic, then you should be strategic. I'm not.
So,
Can we go ahead?
divorce rates by race and gender. In 2021, black women had the highest divorce rates among first-time marriages at 24.5 divorces per 1,000 married women. This exceeds the rates of Hispanic at 14.9, white at 11.4, Asians at 8.3. On a per marriage basis, the marriage to divorce ratio for black women stood at approximately 1.6 marriages for every divorce. So 17.3 marriages for versus 31 divorces per 1,000 people. With this was notably lower than other groups. Hispanics 2.5, whites 2.1, other groups 3.
I love that for us.
What part?
The divorce rate is lower. Isn't it saying that it's lower?
No, it's saying
Per best, the divorce rate for married women.
it was like 17 marriages, 31 divorces. Yeah, so the disparity is
still saying this is notably lower than other groups.
in terms of getting married.
Well, shit.
So broader context and age trends. At nearly every age, black women experience higher rates of divorce compared to white women. and significantly more than Asian or Hispanic women. A more recent snapshot shows 38.9% of black women have divorced, slightly higher than 38.7% of black men, and above 30.8% average divorce rates across all marriages.
So it's just
So,
a 0.2% difference. Wow. Okay.
so
All right.
now what did you want me to pull this for? What were we looking
So
for?
this why it matters that if you're at a higher divorce rate, then even the relationships that we choose, they're gonna have to be like mindful and with intent, and then partner with somebody that you're gonna fight for it with, because this ain't it's kind of depressing.
Huh?
I said it's slightly depressing. Go down while I'm reading the what this means. Will you read that out?
What this means: black women face significantly higher divorce risks than other groups. Both annual rates and lifetime prevalence underscore this reality. Structural and socioeconomic factors, including economic hardship, systemic barriers, and social norms, likely contribute to these differences. Hmm. What you think? I mean, because you asked me for this prompt. I'm just what do you? So you're saying we want to be successfully married, essentially?
Yes, yes. Because I don't want to just be like, get married. Like, no, you need to be successfully married.
Well,
We
that's the
see
thing.
how it benefits. Go ahead.
Well, that's the thing, right? We ain't winning like this.
Mm,
And yes, we want everything to be successful. And there's risks that go with every big decision.
mm-hmm,
But what is the actual recommendation? Because we do see a correlation with success in terms of money for married folks,
mm-hmm.
you know? And I just look at this and I'm just not 100% sure. I'm trying to work this back in. But it's just like everybody broke. I understand that. But considering her money, what money?
Nasty work.
I'm just saying, like,
Nasty work.
and we look at success and single and independent, and it's not quite manifesting how it's said because it's not real money because you owe so many people.
Mm,
You owe the government, you owe the student loan. What's her name? Sally Mae,
Sally Mae.
you know?
Mm-mm.
So
No,
what's the
God bless.
what's the real?
We got to start making some better decisions, some better choices.
What does that look like?
I mean, from the degrees that people are getting, um, really taking a look at a lot of times in certain cultures, you're taught to get your BA, your BS, and your MSR at the same time. And you can look at graduations and see where the girl is graduating with a degree, but she's also getting engaged to that same day. So as a culture, we just gonna have to start really. You can still get your education. In fact, it's imperative, but you also are probably going to have to be partnered, but with somebody that you're willing to build with. Because
So,
that's go ahead.
well, here's the thing, right, Tiff? A lot of things are said. The
Hmm.
disposition is probably the biggest gripe. And then the negative disposition sentiment for our women increases with their education level. That's the sentiment. And then the education levels isn't yielding a financial benefit based on what we're looking at in these prompts. It's almost like all that for what? And that's the sentiment. Do we just dismiss it? Those men are hurt. Those men don't know what they're talking about. Those men are projecting. Those men are sensitive. Those men are just complaining. Like, what's the conversation?
You know, I think you could be. We can start to look at some of the things and see how they can be addressed or worked on differently. Like at this point, if you open for solutions, you got to be open for solutions. And it's, I think one time you made a comment about reading comments and you kind of take it and assess it, and if it's not anything you think is valid, you kind of dismiss it. But if it's something you know you may need to work on, you kind of put some thought to it. Like at this point, you have to acknowledge, like,
Well, no, I'm sincerely asking. Like, I'm not asking you to like. I'm just giving you the sentiments, right? And this is the thing about smaller show like this.
mm,
There ain't no deflections or distractions or somebody speaking hyperbolic to the point where we can kind of jump on a poorly placed point. It's literally like really assessing. I'm saying
no,
like somebody will say something. This is what I'm
okay,
saying. Somebody will be like, they'll use an example and then we'll talk for 20 minutes about the example they used rather than the point they were making using that example. You see what I'm saying?
hmm,
So we not really saying much, but exactly what we looking like. And we don't got to be up here all night. But like looking at the numbers to assess it and saying what,
the
you know,
behaviors have got to be addressed. Like at some point, it is what it is.
do you, I guess my question is, do you agree with the behaviors
I
or what they say the behaviors are?
I'm not gonna agree. I'm gonna say, at this point, if you address it, what are you gonna lose from addressing it? Like if what do you lose by being pleasant or having a good attitude? You don't lose anything from that. And that's not anything for me. The focus is not necessarily the, oh, let me change to be a man magnet. It's like, no, just change because it's gonna make you a better person. And even in that, that's still gonna help your opportunities.
But
I,
here's the thing, Tiff. Men will say they go to the gym to get muscles because women like muscles. Men will say, I'm trying to get more money because that's what needs to be achieved for me to gain the access I want to the women I want. It doesn't have to be the only catalyst, but it can certainly be a part of the equation. That for me stuff has been, it's like throwing people off. And
no,
I'm being a little bit facetious when I say this, but
mm,
with the ghost work and self love journeys and all that me shit ain't bringing us no closer.
well, I was going to say this. You can do all of that and still take an etiquette class. You can do all of that and still do Toastmasters. There are things and skills that you can go and get that is going to make you more desirable, but it's also just going to make you a better person. If you're saying that people are uncouth and they lack certain manners, go to etiquette school. That's not going to harm you. I'm not going to offer the white school stuff. I don't sign or I'm not putting nothing out that I don't know anything about. But I don't know any person that's gone to like etiquette or finishing school and not benefited from it. And if you're going to invest in education, then surely that's going to be a part of it.
What
Would you
what
say?
what do you see as poor etiquette? If you had to rate yourself on the etiquette scale, what would you put yourself?
Ooh, we're not going to do that. We can go to what I think is poor etiquette, but
No, no, I think see,
I'm the
the
scale thing. I'm off the scale thing. Do I
well,
feel
it's
like
not. It's about etiquette. It's not about looks, right? But I think when we're looking at the Chat GPT, see, we looked at it in real time and we
hmm
saw what it said, and our prompts were fair.
hmm
Because I'm just trying to understand what people see as poor etiquette,
hmm
and I'm doing away with the bad girls club being poor etiquette.
hmm
Poor etiquette has a range, you know. So it's like, what does poor etiquette look like? We'll
you
start
know what?
there.
Let me just say this. Like, I don't like to just put a bag on everybody, but if we gonna go to Lululemon, let's not be in there twerking. Like some of the it's like some of the behavior is getting ridiculous. I just, it is what it is. Some of the things that we have adopted or feel like it's not what's up. It's just not.
But
And as far
twerking and Lululemon isn't an everyday occurrence.
is not though. Like how many videos do we see about certain just it that was a like an extremism, but how did we ever get that comfortable that as women, specifically black women, like, oh girl, we just having fun. Like, nah, girl, you not though.
I know, but when I and this is what I'm saying. We go to Lululemon, we go to Bad Girls Club, and we look at them as the people with poor etiquette. The core etiquette is much more live and direct because we're talking about relationships.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know if I would go to the etiquette thing, but I
okay,
will say just inside of a relationship, like, okay, if your dude don't want you to wear that, he has something to say about, you know what I'm saying, how he wants you to present
It's your dude.
out out in the earth. If he don't like your hair a certain way or whatever like that, like saying, I want to go on ahead and I want to get, I want to go on ahead and get this with this wave nouveau with them ugly ass baby hairs going down. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to look at you every day. He has to say he's gonna have something to say about that, and it would behoove you to take that under advisement and not just say, oh well, you just trying to control me type shit. I think a lot of that, just from what I can see, not so much in my friend group, but what I can see as far as like on the socials and just the overall sentiment or whatever, and including the feedback that that I hear from dudes or whatever, that that is a problem, and it could make for a whole lot of bumping of heads unnecessarily within a relationship, despite whatever else could be going on. It's just just extraness. Just that kind of stuff, just regular, well, it's regular to me, but regular things that would that you're going to have to compromise on, just unnecessary conflict.
hmm. What you,
And I can see with a dude, it's like, okay, well, I mean, if I ain't got shit to say about nothing, then fuck it.
Can I just ask the question though? Then why did you meet her with a bust down? Like it just it says something like you met this person like that. That's what you meant. If you want somebody that's a naturalista, then do that. I am
Well,
growing natural hair, but I might have on a braid hat with some attached to it. It might be red, purple, blue, green. The person that loves me is not trying to police hair. So I get what you're saying. Now, mind you, my thing is this. Why are you sleeping with somebody that you can't?
it's
I
it's it's
understand, but I
tip.
don't like, nah, bro. I'm
It's
not
literally it's literally instant.
is what?
It's instant.
What do
The
you mean instant?
the instance in which you heard something that you didn't agree with or didn't like, there was no consideration for what Callie's saying.
I heard everything, and
I
even
didn't say I didn't say you didn't hear it. I said you didn't consider it in your reply based on the premise of how do we get closer together. She's saying he got to look at you. If he don't like or prefer that look, what do you do differently? If you're saying one day you can have your natural hair out and the next day wear a hair hat, when I first meet you, I met you with your hair out. You know that happens. I might have met you with your cheap chip braids, right? But
that
men will see a woman, and then men will have requests of that woman. I don't have to accept everything that you came with. There's adjustments that need to be made. There's adjustments that both parties make. But go ahead. Well, that's the thing. Like it seemed like it kind of got lost in. It's like about respect. It's about the person you want to please. It's the person you willing to acquiesce to make changes to. both behavior, wardrobe, all that. He don't know all your outfits when he meets you. He not responsible for them outfits. Right? You gonna meet somebody perfect, and then how do we get to sleeping with?
Now that to me is, if you can sleep with them, then at some point it's like you sleeping with somebody. This, you like him on a different level, I would hope.
Well, that's the thing. So you saying that we got a decline in marriages, right? 10% percentage points, right?
Mhm.
She shouldn't amend the hairstyle if he asks or requests or tells her what he likes on her.
These are married people or dating people.
Yes.
Guess what?
Hmm.
Are they married or are they dating?
If she can't heed to my request when we dating, I damn sure ain't gonna marry her.
And that's okay. That's fair. Okay.
That's why I say yes. So what do you do? He don't like it. You like him, right? See, that's the combination. He don't like it, and you like him.
Mm.
But you're saying nah.
I didn't say anything.
I'm asking. With the silence, we have to assume.
Well, you can have your um what you say, your thinking that I'm thinking.
Okay, compromise doesn't mean I'm totally trying to flip who you are and do a complete 180. That's not what a compromise is.
So I and I
I'm just saying I'm just saying take what he's saying into consideration because he's the one that has to look at you. That's it.
I think that's fair.
Take what he said into consideration. If you really want to be there, then what you gonna do?
You know,
You
Callie,
gonna acquiesce, right?
Callie, here's the thing. It's a 180. That's the ask.
Okay, well if
Because
the
we,
ask is a 180, then point still stands. What you
well,
gonna
that
do?
I just wanted to make sure we understood. It's a 180, and you know what? What we saw is the correlation between what we're willing to give up for the sake of a person that we like, love, want to be with, right? Directly correlates to our good.
Bless you.
Bless you. Directly correlates to our financial success. You guys saw it in the numbers. See, when we're looking at these things, we're looking at like just what, oh, I gotta give up my hair hats. You're giving up a lot. You risking a lot. Relationships aren't happening. Why? Right? And I guess you could instantly retort with why he's so focused on our hair. I guess that makes sense. But these are things that we constantly hear, and this is the women's POV specifically. And like who's really willing to make these concessions? Because the reply is Callie, I'll find somebody like it. Somebody going that ain't we don't see
How
that.
long you gonna look?
Yeah. No,
How
nobody
long
don't.
you gonna look? It's
Hmm.
like, when I wanted to, what I'm saying, dye my hair. Who I go to first? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I ain't
Yeah.
go I didn't go talk to my mama.
Yeah.
I didn't go talk to my daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Check with
And
the person that you with.
and this is what I mean as we elevate the conversation, right? If they if Queen T, salute to Queen T, if she think this conversation about hair, you missed the plot. Right, Callie? Because the hair is a facet of the bigger issue. What you willing to do? What does respect look like? What concessions are you willing to make for the sake of this thing? because relationships are hard as shit, especially with social media and access and everything else.
Right.
You
It's
know?
just the low hanging fruit to the overall concept. That's
Yeah.
all.
And I just see it more and more where like people are not understanding what it is that's being talked about. And that's what I was
Hmm.
saying to Tiff earlier, Callie, when you had got off. We use examples to illustrate the point, but the example gets harped on, right? Because you can pull apart an example, sure. What about the overarching?
Right. It ain't gotta be just hair. It could be, your overall
Mhm.
activities or whatever, how either of you like to communicate or anything like that. You know what I mean? Especially when you're like when you're in the dating phase, if you really want to be with this person and everything, he's going to listen to what you have to say about how you want to be communicated with, and you're going to listen to him about how he wants to be communicated with. Both people have to go on ahead and come together, and you know what I'm saying, to make, if you want to be there, make that shit work. If not, then you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
if if you don't want to change nothing at all, then you don't want no relationship.
you don't want no relationship. You don't want no relationship. If you think that you can stay where you are, you know what I'm saying? If you think you can stay exactly where you are, you don't want no relationship. And we were having a conversation, Callie, about the different constructs, polygyny and etc. Right? And everything's
Hmm.
gonna come with it, pros and cons. You know, for me, as like just being so busy, you know, and I'm responsible for so much stuff, people included. You know, even the management of this and this, like just stuff, right? You know,
Hmm.
people like even the message. You see the messages, right? Hey, can you do this interview? You know, and just stuff. To have one shoulder to lean on is better than six, because you also gotta those six people gotta be happy too. The other five people, and just with the
Right.
demand of time, it makes sense, you know. So I wasn't offering that as just like a hey, I want niggas to have no. Being outside by yourself, as we see based on the numbers, is not nobody's flourishing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's flourishing like that. And please don't get it twisted, men, that it ain't just about you getting extra pussy. Because you still gonna have to be responsible for them other
Mhm.
six people.
Yeah, it's for sure. Emotions, everything, right? Time, they don't stop being women, right? They don't have the women these don't go away, you know. Right? Just in terms of wanting your time, wanting you to do like all that stuff still exists, you
Hmm.
know. But we think we making offerings for the sake of vagina. No, we trying to say, yo, how you get out of hell? Because this is hell. Whether we like it, understand it, accept it, believe it or not.
Well, I heard what Callie was saying when you talked about like compromise, and I'm not in the chat, but one of the first things that was said was like the cursing, and y'all experienced me in the Discord. I curse back there. I do not curse around my husband. When he comes home, I'm logging off. He cannot stand cuss words, and even if I like, you give us so many cusses, like I get a damn and shit, but multiple, it'll be like, "You all right? Are you good?" And it's like, you know what? Oop, bring it back. And somebody
Yeah.
might be like, "Oh, you're trying to change it." It's like, no, he don't like cuss words. Like, don't cuss.
You
That's it.
know,
Go
it's
ahead.
an interesting concept. When my wife and I, we was going back and forth. She's like, "You always so free. You be saying what you want, do what you want, in terms of just like my conduct."
Hmm.
I'm like, "Cause I'm not turning nothing on or off. You know, I'm calm because I feel the need, right, and I understand my benefits of being so. And if I need to turn it up, I'm a You know,
Mm-hmm.
I check people in public, right? And it just depends on the circumstance. I make people say hello, whether it's a cashier or whomever. I hold the door open. I make sure they hold the door open. When my daughters is coming, everybody gotta wait. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, and she's like, you, and she's like, I gotta. I said, that's you. You holding yourself in that way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so that turning it on and off thing is tough. I don't know how you guys do it. You
You
know.
have to.
The best way I can describe it is like code switching.
I've been to say like you have to. Even in the cussing, like when I would go to work and when I was in leadership, the way that I could talk to a man as you report to me versus how I can talk to my husband, no. And it would be said like I'm not one of your employees. And even to the point to now, if I get a little sick, people like I'm not in the Discord. You're not in the Discord. And I was like, okay. Which is why if I get to relax, I'm gonna spend time away from the Discord because the most important thing is peace in this house. Period. Point. And it's
So,
not. He loves me so much that his peace is well earned. Like, nah, it's not hard to be peaceful.
hmm.
Not if that's your peace. Like, why would you want to be the stress causer?
Perfect example about the cursing, right? I think that if I were to meet someone who did not want me to curse, that would be a very difficult task. I mean, that would be a very difficult hill to climb. It really would. I can't even front on that one. Because that's why I'm not on the phones at work anymore. Okay. Because it was hard to do it at work as well. Because you hear the customer service person on the other end of the phone. You have no idea if you talking to me that I'm sitting here grabbing air, trying not to, you know what I'm saying, just trying to keep it
Mm-hmm.
together. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? I know that's one hang up for me personally would be cuss words. Not even on some disrespectful stuff like I'm cussing you out or
Right.
anything like that. Just the audible. Even though my mom doesn't curse, you know what I'm saying. I'm more personality wise aligned with my father in that, and he cussed like a sailor. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like that, just me personally, I don't know, just a light bulb came on when you was talking about the cursing. That would be a difficult thing for me. And in which case I would slot that under, compatibility, and that'd be a no.
But here's the other thing you said how you want to be communicated with. I heard you when you said that. And when you talk
Hmm.
about it, my mom is a she's very verbal and it's not always at a tone that's pleasing. And initially my communication style was like really loud and really aggressive and it was like, hey, nah, bring it all the way in.
Hmm.
Like if we're having a screaming yelling match, it's something
So
really wrong. But as
he-
far as
here's the
learning,
thing, y'all.
But
Here's the
if
thing,
you
y'all.
if you would allow me room to work on it, then that'd be a different story. I would be
Here's
willing to do that. It wouldn't be an automatic no.
here's the
You know
thing,
what I'm
y'all.
saying? Go ahead, my bad.
Here's the thing, though.
hmm,
This is the issue,
what do you mean?
right? The disposition, the presentation is it doesn't seem to be desired, right? That's the overarching sentiment, the disagreeable nature. And I think we are better at turning these things on and off than we actually are. And I wonder, do we realize how much they rear their head? The reason why her money doesn't matter is the title is because that's substantive. Numbers are objective, right? And then it shows a very stark correlation with being your own versus being in a relationship.
Yeah.
And now when we talk about relationships, We're looking at what type of behavior is less desirable. And if I'm saying I'm code switching left and right, right and left in casual settings versus who I'm dealing with, I think it's impossible to be perfect at that, to be great at that, to be good at that, because it's gonna cross over.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Because that's the main issue that niggas is articulating. That's why I'm glad it's just us up here. The chat is in great participation. It ain't a bunch of motherfuckers just yelling if like because it's just a message.
Mm-hmm.
hmm hmm Yeah, the
Relationships are important.
code switching is not it's not foolproof.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be the first one to say that code switching is not foolproof. It's gonna come out whether you have to be triggered to go there or it just comes out because you just too relaxed.
Mm.
But there will be some kind of crossover.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, big
It
time.
ain't, yeah, it ain't even got to be 24/7.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like, you know how people say once it's up, it's up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, up and it's stuck.
Yeah, once it's up and it's stuck. Yeah, when it comes out of frustration or anger, it's you know the code switching is flipped off. That switch is off.
Yeah, and the main issue is attitude, Cal. Right? Based on the conversation, the main issue is attitude. Like men are like the hell with that degree because the attitude gets worse. you know, like that was one of the sentiments, right? Like with the woman who has all these degrees and success, her attitude is the part that we don't want.
hmm I think that's one of the reasons why I would say that it's important, like to recognize what your and I hate to use this shit,
Yeah.
but it's it's good to realize what your triggers are so you know when it's coming and you can gracefully exit without having to go there and saying something that you cannot take back, saying something that you don't act well, you probably do mean it, but you can say it in a much better way as to not be offensive
Yeah.
when
Uh,
said.
there's a lot of stuff that you really can't take back that is slightly misunderstood. Like we think about certain things, like you call him a BAN or stuff like that, right?
Hmm
But there's a lot of stuff that's done that is very disrespectful and disregarded as disrespect. You know, like people will say infidelity, right? Couples bounce back from it, this and all that, right? But is everybody completely healed?
I
And
would
you
say no.
and you'll be surprised that words, not as hyperbolic as bitch ass nigga, but steady cutting somebody off, being dismissive, walking off, over talk. That shit chips away. Years of that will equal a bitch ass nigga because he thinking if you was a nigga, I'd beat you the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you see, we don't good enough do a good enough job of taking care of each other.
Yeah.
Because as long as I stay away from the wild shit, I'm cool. I'm saying, as long as I don't
Yeah.
call this nigga a bitch ass nigga, I call his mother a cunt, I'm straight. You know, notwithstanding all the little, chipping
hmm
away, making an ice sculpture. And by the time the ice sculpture done, it's a middle finger. you know what I'm saying? You know, and I just
Yeah.
looking at this shit, bro. Like in a way in which without all the hoopla, and hoopla's fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, what are we willing to do? And the comparisons need to happen because we really have to. There's a there's a biggest loser, but not in a positive way like the show.
Mm.
And I'm just looking if my demographic's the biggest loser, I would assume that I need to make more changes. That would be my assumption. Like my team keep losing, I gotta figure something out, with that team, or else I'm getting fired. Like what? Let me ask y'all. What do you think? What is women's biggest issue with black men? What's the biggest issue?
I think not feeling loved and not feeling protected.
Why though?
I think sometimes the behavior that's demonstrated is not loving. I think the other thing is not identifying how some men love. If you've
You
never,
saying son, we can't move forward with that too much.
so the way that y'all love is different, and we have to kind of learn that. If you've never experienced it, you definitely gonna have to learn it. You're at a deficit.
What? So you're saying the biggest issue that the women have with black men is how we show love?
I think how y'all show love and feeling unprotected. I think to me, like when we have a conversation feeling like you my biggest op, like I feel like many times you're an enemy. Like it's not even that you don't like me, you've made me an enemy. I'm not your enemy.
What makes an enemy?
Anytime you see more than one person that looks like you, more than one black man cheering black women losing jobs to the point to where you had to say this shit is corny, you internalize that enough and it's like, do y'all even like us? Like, forget love. Do you like me? Am I your enemy? It's hard to love somebody that think they hate you. Like, and I'm not saying majority, but it's just enough to where
But why the okay, so protection. But you say you got your family.
I do. But when I'm saying even protection, just even if we project words and braces, the way we be coming at each other sometimes, it's nuts. And it's nuts on both ends to where there is a level of distrust and feeling like you are you're in opposition. How do I partner with you if I feel like you partnering with me is not for my best benefit, or at least for both of us? It feels like the ops. We've had this conversation. Are you saying
No.
change the behavior because you want me to change, or are you saying change the behavior because you're trying to? It's that like I should go ahead.
Well, protection though.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're having a discourse,
Mm-hmm.
right? What I say during a discourse equates to no protection. And how does that eliminate your family?
If you say something to me, or if you say something that's just overall vile, it's vile. And if enough people are in agreement and cheering it on, I'm going to look at you a particular way. Now, the family, it's almost like a disconnect because the family and the men that I'm around don't behave the way that some people present, which makes it even more of a conundrum. Like, is this the exception or is this what's really out there?
But they do behave that way. You know that, right?
What do you
If
mean?
you engage them in a conversation, right? In a conversation where you disagree and they disagree, they're gonna behave that way. They're gonna disagree passionately,
Hmm.
right? But I'm just thinking, how does that correlate to non-protection?
Well, maybe Callie's got a better.
Maybe Callie can help us because I'm just trying to understand. Like men of all ages, everywhere,
Hmm.
argue, fuss, You rolling dice, fighting in the barbershop, arguing, carrying on. I mean, yeah, if the women don't leave, eventually the conversation escalates back to where it was. She walk in, drop baby boy off, everybody be quiet. Oh, hey, how you doing, Miss Such and Such? Once she get the fuck up out of there, we go back to doing it. Now, if she sit in there, the conversation continues. You know, men usually try to stop cussing so much, etc., but it don't last long. Not if she's staying there all day and that nigga gonna get a haircut and he got three heads behind. She gonna hear that conversation. So I just wonder, like you engage in a conversation and then that man won't protect you because you engage them in a discourse.
Now, just so I have proper framing, are you
Mhm.
talking about within a relationship, or are you talking about just overall black men, black women
Well, this I my question was, what's the biggest complaint from the women to black men?
within a
Tips,
one-to-one
yeah, like just the
relationship?
relationship is the attitudes is probably the most thing I hear. Black women's
Hmm.
attitudes are horrendous. Niggas don't want to deal with that. The bad attitude leads to less cooperation and etc. Right? Less compliance and
Hmm.
etc. Whatever the word is. So I was asking, what's the biggest gripe?
Well, within a one-to-one relationship, not overall black men and overall black women, like like not like that, but just if within a relationship, within a romantic relationship,
We can't
from
even
what
get there.
I
We can't get there. We can't even
okay,
get to
so
the
you're talking
relationship.
about just in general, black men, black women, before there's even a relationship, just the overall demographics.
Yeah, we don't like
Um,
y'all because of y'all
I would have
attitude.
to. Hmm. I really don't. I don't hear the same hyperbolic rhetoric in real life that I do here online, because there's a certain elevated level of rhetoric that you're going to get online versus in person, right? You're not really considerate of anybody else's feelings because you have the anonymity of being online, right? Nobody like knows you. I can say whatever the hell I want to say, right? that
Hmm.
that type thing. When it comes to that, I would have to agree with Tiff. Like, do you even like us? Because every complaint or whatever like that we would have in saying that, um, in saying that, why are you talking about us like this? Why are you being this hyperbolic in your rhetoric about as far as what you don't like? It would, if you internalize that, yeah, you're gonna think, okay, these motherfuckers just want an organic fleshlight with a mop in one hand and a pot in the other one. Anything that we have to say that we could contribute is tossed over the shoulder like it means nothing. Basically, like an overall level of underappreciation as to what our contributions could be within a relationship. It's all we're all kind of jumbled in there together. Even the ones who don't have necessarily a bad attitude, if you hear this and you internalize it, it's like, okay, well, you guys are, I don't even hear a distinction. It's just black women across the board, period. So yeah, I'm gonna think, hey, these motherfuckers just don't even just they just wanna
But
they want a pocket pussy with legs.
okay, so I've been blessed to not receive a whole lot of attitude in the earth generally, you know. And I know there's hyperbole, like no black woman ever was nice to me in public, right? But I've experienced the attitude that is being discussed in real life. These people are
Hmm.
coming from outside, getting on the internet and talking about what they witnessed and experienced, right? If you don't engage them in public or in person regarding their plights, you won't hear it. But if you have the conversation, the plights start to come out, you know.
Right. So if you're talking, so specifically to that, right? The attitudes that you would encounter in public, right? If I'm not one of those, if I'm not one of those women that displays such, right? I say thank you when you open the door. I smile at people when I'm, when you have eye contact and everything like that. I'm not giving nobody no scowl. If you say that that's black women across the board and there's no distinction, right? You're just saying, well, that's basically all, and that's like 90% of them, right? Okay, so that's you saying all of them. So it's like, okay, so you wouldn't even know if you would fuck with me or not. You just wrote me off already. So why would I even give any consideration the other way around if you've already written me off?
But that's a
Because it's black women.
well. I'm just so I understand what the reaction is, but
Hmm.
that's people's lived experiences that they're conversing with us about.
Right,
But
and I'm not discounting that. I'm not discounting that because I every once in a while I see it too. You know what I'm saying?
so,
But
but my question, and I open the floor, and I guess we can stay here. I can tell y'all about your attitudes if you want me to. But my question was, what is black women's plight with black men?
yeah, well, I
And that's
don't. I haven't heard any feedback from overall to overall. I hear feedback from like a one-to-one relationship.
mm,
I can provide you feedback on that based off of what what I'm saying, what I've heard from like what I'm saying, my homegirls and stuff like that. But to just give an overall thing versus overall black women, black men, or whatever, I'd have to go off of what I hear the most, which is online online stuff. I don't hear about women complaining about just black men out there that they have no personal connection to.
I was
I don't
saying
hear that
like
except for just online.
they're trying to get together. They're trying to get together. So you said relationship. I'm thinking they actually go together, but they're trying to get together and make a thing work, right? All the people you're around, do they all have just uberly successful relationships?
They have relationships or they had one and are currently single and not dating.
So your friend group is rendering you useless in the conversation because it's not enough people.
Well,
So
yeah, that's
we
what I said.
can
I can't provide commentary with the overall. That's what I was trying to say.
okay, but based on everything that you know, yo, Frank White, what's good, kids? Good to see you, my G. I ain't seen you in a minute.
Hey, Frank.
So everything you know, online and included, outside, what is the plight? We know the attitude is the thing that need to be adjusted the most for most men. The attitude is the thing that it just makes makes a nigga sick. That's what the general plight is.
Hmm.
So what is it for black women? Tiff said protection and something else. What was the other one?
I said I just at this point, like and Kelly it acknowledged it. Like at times, it does not feel like black men like black women. We can't even get to love. It's
They
a
don't. They don't. We
so
don't. It's because of the attitude, right? That's the truth. The attitude is so bad. Niggas like, yo, man, the hell with that shit. And if the projection is 77% of men, black men are gonna be married to black women in just a couple years, 77% from 84%. They don't like it. They like the women, but the attitude overcomes the like for the woman. Like one trait doesn't define a person, but one trait can get a person dismissed. So that if it had to be said like that, then we have to say it like that. But what? That's what I'm asking. Is there one thing you can pinpoint? Because if we can't pinpoint it, that's interesting.
It's even to that point. I'm just sitting. You said we have our thinking caps on, so I'm just having an allowed thought. It's like, okay, people that like each other behave different, even in how you have conversations, even if it's at a parasocial relationship. You can see people that they how they the behavior is with people that they like versus people that they don't like. So if you're saying inherently we don't like black women, and then you
No,
wonder,
no, 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 no. Nobody said inherently. 'Cause inherent is has a meaning. So nobody said inherent. It's not inherent. It's right. The attitude overshadows all the other traits. So no, I don't like her. I don't want to mess with her. Her being in my company becomes dangerous to me because that loudmouth shit don't just stop. Her over talking, out talking, not listening, sucking her teeth, rolling her eyes, walking off over. You know what I mean? Like all that shit. And to the hyperbole of being in. No, I don't like that. I don't like that woman. That's the truth. That's what it is.
If I think
So
about, oh, my bad.
no, go ahead.
If I think about my single friends, it would have to be the one thing that I could probably pinpoint that's a through line between all of them when they, you know what I'm saying, when they were dating was just the men being totally unserious about being in a relationship.
mm, non-committal.
That's a better word.
Okay. So the men are non-committal.
Yeah.
That's what you don't like about.
Not
That's what they don't like about them. And non-committal.
from their experiences, I would have to say that would be a through line between them.
Mm.
Just, non-committal. Now, to your point, it could be because of
Did you
black men saying that they don't like their attitude. You know what I mean? It could be that.
pardon?
I don't know.
You didn't put it in the oven either.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, yeah. Cause Callie, right? It's like I'm not. Why would I commit to that? But she giving it up. But I'm not dating her. I'm not long terming with her. I can't get past that attitude. You know?
It could be that, but then at the same time, it's why entertain her? She likes you. You don't really like her. She's giving up the cheeks to try, and you know what I'm saying, because that's what you want. But you know what I mean? You're not serious anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, why even bother? Because all they gonna want to do is just fuck anyway.
Yeah, man. They're trying to leverage cheeks to the relationship. That ain't working.
Well, no, there's no leverage in that.
Well, I think that's the thought process. I sleep with this man. Maybe he'll see me. Maybe he'll want to be here. You know.
Right, but if that's her experience, that they're not going to be there if I don't, then
Then what? So here's the thing.
It's,
He
it's,
don't. He's not gonna be there if she don't. She don't know. He don't know if she want to be there. Right? She in limbo. She throw the cheeks. I just wonder. I don't even know if it's a blame thing, but it's just interesting.
no, it's not a blame thing. I'm just explaining the thought process. So it's like if I don't, he not gonna be there. If I do, then he not serious about committing. So it's like that, basically kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, just and then I'm trying to understand, how he's implicated, and I think we have such low standards for ourselves in terms of our bodies. Like giving up cheeks so you can get a relationship is nasty work.
Hmm.
Being afraid
Yeah,
to lose a man because if I don't give him my vagina is nasty work.
yeah, it is.
But non-committal, okay, I've heard that before.
But you know how many dudes is talking about some I'm not gonna be in a relationship if I gotta test drive the car first.
All of them. What that mean? That mean you gotta let them test drive or something? Because here's the
That's what I'm
thing that
saying. If,
you,
if you're looking for a relationship,
but here's the thing you use the mathematics, right? Giving up the box ain't getting a relationship anyway. You ain't getting
yeah,
married anyway. But you see what I'm saying though.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
You see, so that's the thing. It's the non-committal thing is there, but we still having sex with y'all. So we getting everything from y'all that we were supposed to get in a marriage, right?
Hmm.
And so keep giving up the box, and he not committing. You having cognitive dissonance, right?
Well, there you
You,
go. That's why they're
yeah,
not dating anymore.
huh?
That's why they're not dating anymore.
Hmm.
Dear friends.
Yeah, damned if the ones that are single. Yeah, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Hmm. No, 100%. I understand, but but you see what I mean. If he not staying, you giving the box, he not staying. You fooling yourself because you literally saying both things at once. Not saying you, but this the notion,
Hmm.
and that's the thinking. And I hope they hearing that shit. You knew he was non-committal from jump because you knew if you didn't have sex, he was gonna skedaddle. That sound like, damn, son. Mm. And then the obvious retort to it is the marriage rate don't say that, right? That's the obvious retort.
No, what
The mar-
about the marriage rate? Don't say that. What you
well,
mean?
since the men are married more, that would be a obvious retort to not being committal because they're married more, essentially.
Damn, I wouldn't go there with it.
How would you gauge it?
Cause from what I can see out there, niggas ain't trying to get married.
But they're more
What
married,
would you say? More married than us, but it's still low. The
100%.
likelihood of
But
you finding one who actually wants to is still low.
you're saying,
So it's
but
just all
that
about what you gonna run into.
no, I get it. But it's just saying non-committal. The men are non-committal, but they're married by almost 10% more. So I'm just saying that would be a retort to it. And your response is, but y'all ain't married at a high click. Okay. And then it's just like, but it's 10%, 10 percentage points more than y'all. So who's actually non-committal? That would be the obvious argument.
Yeah, but it's all about what's the likelihood of you running into. You gonna run into that. The likelihood of you running into that rare find is low, especially if you ain't giving up the cheeks first.
Who's the rarity?
The nigga that would want to marry
Hmm. Or the women.
the women, what,
Well, because
without a
I
bad
was hearing,
attitude.
well, the bad attitude, and I was just, because we just looking at the committal thing. I heard, and no, you're right. 'Cause I guess a lot of the men say they ain't fucking with marriage. Um, and then I heard women saying marriage ain't the goal. That's a bad pot of gumbo.
Yeah, it is.
That gumbo, they get like a water base. Mm,
So it's
mm,
like the
mm.
people who want to commit on either end are driving past the freeway. You know what I'm saying? One going east, the other one going west. They just missing each other.
Mhm.
A lot of them aren't on the same freeway, let alone the same lane.
Except for, and this is where it gets interesting. The projection is in I think it's 2026 or 28. I think it's 2028. The projection is black men married at 40%. 40% is substantive.
Hmm.
I guess it's like, why? Is it that desirability conversation? Is it that priority conversation? Is it dating outside your race conversation? Like, what? Why is it so many clicks higher?
Hmm. Now that one I would have to marinate on.
Oh, that's a good question to answer.
Yeah.
It'd be more. It'd be more. See, it's about. It would be 4 percentage points more, I think, than right now. I'll send you guys the video that Medium Man made. He just put it out. Let me see if I can find. I'll put it in the chat. Y'all should watch it. Go ahead, Tiff.
No, it's just listening to what you said, and then when you said that about your friend, I was going to say that he kind of delve into it, as in did he give a, I guess, what, a hypothesis of what he thought it was, or
Yeah, he broke it. I mean, he brought in systemic things, all of it. Like he
mm-hmm,
didn't ignore why black people's wealth is so low.
mm-hmm,
He looked at starting points and red line. All he looked at all that stuff.
okay.
So let me see if I can find this thing real quick. What would you say?
No, I was listening. I was just going to ask if you're going to drop the link, or you.
No, hell no. I
I
think I
might.
did. I think I did.
I want to redo it and give him 30 minutes of it, because I'm sure at this point, some some additional information and points of view may want to be heard. If not, I I, I definitely want to. Okay, you just put the link.
That's
I'm
his
getting
video.
the link.
Just
Nah, because
just
he
the,
gonna be get out the chat like, nah, I'm just getting the link, bro. I'm just gonna get the link.
just based off of what I hear, whatever, just the feedback that I've gotten or whatever. If all I'm hearing is that the dating pool, and that includes men and women, if the dating pool is full of shit and piss, then naturally, if I get picked again for marriage, I would have to consider myself lucky, if that's the overall sentiment. And
Um,
then what about, and then I would say, and if that does happen or whatever, right? And I am considered, and I would be considered, lucky, then what, then I'd have to assess what would differentiate me from everybody else.
yeah, and I don't believe in luck, but I understand your sentiment. Um, Here's the thing. You know who don't be saying that? Super niggas.
What you mean?
They don't say that shit.
They don't say what?
The dating pool got piss and shit in it.
Oh,
John, what's up?
Oh no, I'm trying to recollect if I've ever heard a super nigga say that, a
They
quote
don't
unquote
say
super
that
nigga
shit.
say that.
no.
Sean
What?
don't say that. Sean don't say that.
They don't say that, but then they'll say like she wasn't up to my standards, or like she cool, but not for me.
Yeah, that's not the same thing at all. Hmm. They don't say that shit. Strada went and got the girl he want.
I
You
mean,
know, I don't know. I'm just thinking about the disposition. Hmm. No, man. Interesting. Because I
well,
guess you can have your cake and eat it too in this dating pool.
nah, because it even makes me think back about like earlier today in the with the young girl in the clip. Well, excuse me, the woman in the clip that was talking about she was what, a recovering drug addict, and just the dichotomy of it. Just is some things that we need to address clearly. As at some point, it can be a self-reflecting a moment. If you saying, oh, the things that we think that we're masking, you may think, including you as in self, think that you have good behavior, but that's just not how it's demonstrated or experienced.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like if I were to give you guys a behavior rating, it'd be like a 6, 7.
Yeah, I'll take a C.
Mm-hmm.
Semester
Sherelle,
not over with.
That
Sherelle would be like a 6, 5. You know,
great.
um, and everybody ain't nobody gonna be perfect, but um,
Let me ask you this:
hmm
in the earth, if we're saying that it's a behavior thing, are there three things you could say, or at least one thing? And then let's say three viable things that you would suggest that Black women could incorporate to seem maybe more agreeable, or at least less um, uncouth.
what could be done,
Yeah.
the mindfulness of it, right? And
Hmm.
not assuming that the worst of it is the bad behavior. So we'll look at twerking in Lululemon or Bad Girls Club and saying that is a bad behavior. No, there's behaviors that chip away, right? There's behaviors, looks, disposition, her countenance, how she moving around, how she replies. All of that goes into behavior that is undesired or unbecoming.
Hmm.
So just be cognizant. How would you want people? And I'm just saying, how would you want people to treat your brother, your son, your this, your that, right? And I think that makes it easier to understand how you want him to be treated. So, are there things you do? Do you want your son to be cut off? Do you want a woman to be barking at him or being dismissive or facetious with him during a conversation? Right? Do you want him to be disrespected? And we know what disrespect looks like.
Hmm.
Omar taught me something well. He said, she can slam the door going to do what you tell her to do as long as she go do what you tell her to do. However, slamming the door is unbecoming behavior, right? Regardless if the task is accomplished. So if we just look at it from that standpoint and take the hyperbole out, we realize that a lot of us actually fit that mold of having, you know, bad behavior, so to speak, right? With the levels to bad, of course. Hey, Tyrone was good. You just gotta get on camera. I'm tired though. I'm tired. So salute to
I'm
Tyrone. He
kind
get
of
on camera, I can let him up. What'd you say, Cal?
I'm kind of I'm just over here. I'm still here. I'm just trying to sneak me a square in.
No doubt. Tyrone was good.
Yo, hand was good. My phone's fuzzy as shit. I'm trying to see my.
We can see you well.
I know you can see me better than I can see you. I was in an argument with Platinum Elite like 5 minutes ago in his chat, so I was yelling at my screen. But yo, by the way, shout out to Fantastic. He brought me here. I seen your channel through his channel. I seen like originally last year because I be trolling you on and off. Um, I seen Fantastic box somebody on your channel. That's what originally. I forget if it was CJ or somebody else. Uh,
He boxed CJ. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Fantastic got some hands, so you know, Fantastic. When I get 50 pounds heavier, I'll see you in the ring. But for now, um, oh
Yeah.
shit, my bad.
That's what's up. You good, man? What's
Yeah.
popping?
No, can you remind me what the topic is real quick?
Man, Tyrone, we've been up here for 2 hours, beloved.
I just read it like five. I just need a brief reminder.
Well, no, it was just 2053 on the verge. Our money is low for our community. Our women, black women, are gonna be at the lowest of the low by that year. And relationships seemingly help people's wages and wealth and money in the household. And so, what needs to change so we can be more successful in our
Mm.
relationship?
So, my thing is just judging the chicks out because I'm 37. I'm an old head. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not no young nigga. So the chicks I see in my 30s and like their late 20s, like on my social media, they're infatuated with the top 2 or 3% of black women who make a
Mhm.
lot of money and they could blow money on eating out and going to happy hour or hookah every day. And then obviously half their expenses they're not even paying for. So it's not even really a flex. Because, for example, if you had me, because I do got a Seeking account, but I ain't really, I gotta really look into that shit. Um, but Seeking, because I'm gonna be real with you, I'm kind of picky. And it's some older chicks on Seekings, they'll pay a young nigga to go on a date with them. But I'm gonna be real with you, I'm just not a whore like that. I mean, whatever. I'm not saying I'm a virgin or nothing, but I don't know. I could smash a 40-year-old, but smashing a 50-year-old, whatever, it's whatever. But anyway, my point is, a lot of these chicks, they're doing the reverse of that. So if I was smashing an older chick getting money, it is what it is. I would enjoy the relationship. A chick doing the reverse of that, she'll post it as a flex, as if she has some corporate job making 180K for a year working for Goldman Sachs or working for JP Morgan or being a fucking project manager for Google or Microsoft. I'm like, wait a minute. I make more money than you. The only reason I don't travel as much as you is because I don't have sugar mamas paying for half of my yearly expenses. So Hamp, all the and by the way, when I told you before, I was sober. So anytime you interacted with me before, I was way more articulate than this. My fantasy football group chat, we had drafts earlier. I was drinking, whatever, And I got off work. My niggas, took some shots with my niggas after work, so I'm drunk. But the foundations you lay are sound. Like you're laying the ground infrastructure for the black community or whatever said community to grow. But my only question is, will a mass amount of women adhere to that if they're still on this delusional track of some of these women I just referenced recently? Because obviously I know you talk to a bunch of women on your panel or whatever. So I know you have some reasonable people you have a bunch of different people on your channel, but if we're just speaking on the masses, I run into a lot of women, even in their 30s, and I'm 37. Even women that are older than me in their 40s, some of them, and I'm from Philly, so maybe that's part of it. I know y'all gonna get on me in the chat. I know
Your
I went
sound went out.
South Philly.
Your,
I
your
get it.
sound went out, Tyrone.
It's a ratchet women in Philly. I get it. Not, but again, it's some suburban chicks.
So,
It's some honor student chicks. Some of these black women, they still kind of have the same mindset, even if they're book smart, even if they handle a certain thing right, they handle their money right, they have a good social life and family standing. They're not no traumatized woman with a bad relationship with their parents. Like even some suburban women from a two-parent household with a great relationship with their family, they're still a little bit delusional. And I'm like, damn, like it's niggas uglier than me complaining about women. I'm like, damn, maybe I should stop. Like, maybe I should appreciate my shit more. Because I'm like, damn, if I'm going through it, I'm seeing niggas, you know what I mean? Like, I'm 5'11", I'm average height, and I'm seeing niggas that are 5'3" and 5'5" and 5'7" make all these red pill YouTube videos about, but go ahead, Han. I think I made my point clear enough. And
Yeah.
I've argued with Fantastic about a lot of this shit before. But again, I was sober when I argued with him. So you got to give me a little bit of credit. I was in my final form when I was debating Fantastic. Now, I'm a little, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Yeah, I mean,
So five.
I had 99 apples. I had some 99 peaches. I had some, what's that shit? Fireball rum. So I'm chilling right now.
Who's your quarterback in fantasy?
Callie Bev looking good. I'm fucking with the hair.
Oh, look at you.
Mrs. W,
thank
I'm
you.
fucking with the curls. I wish I had curls like that, but honestly, I'm very lazy with my hair upkeep, and so I got to get up on that. So my hair might look nasty in the camera. So if it does, I apologize. So I know I'm probably the ugliest nigga up on the panel right now. Forgive me, whatever. Um,
So Tyrone,
But
man.
no, but go ahead, Hank. My bad, my bad.
Nah, you good. You good. So Callie, Mrs. W had a question for you.
I had just two
Oh
questions.
yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. I just wanted to know who was your QB in your draft, and then two, the anime behind you in the backpacks. Are you a fan of anime?
Yeah, I'm a fan of anime, but I'm gonna be real. I haven't watched Attack on Titan yet. I know y'all gonna kill me in the chat. This, hold on. I'm trying to. So that's an Attack on Titan poster.
No, babe.
Uh, if you can see, that's in. I don't know the name of this anime to be honest. I forget. It's the one where the dude is flying and the big monster is flying. It's kind of like an anime version of not Land Before Time. What's that shit with the big ass? Okay, whatever. And this honestly, this is an original painting from some hipsters that lived here before me. Like they didn't even charge me for it. These college kids, they gave me this painting for free. But if you're asking me my favorite animes in general, I would say Rurouni Kenshin number one,
Okay.
uh, Naruto number two. Yeah, I'm gonna be a loser. I'm gonna be annoying. I'm gonna be mainstream. Number three, I might say Elfen Lied. The chick, the where that psychotic chick, she rips people's heads off. And then number four, oh shit, number four. Um, damn, I forgot. I just Dragon Ball Z probably honestly. Um, but not late Dragon Ball, like early, like Frieza and Cell Saga Dragon Ball. And even like the early Dragon Ball, like where Goku was a kid, like the original Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Like with the Red Ribbon Army, I would say like the Red Ribbon Army saga, where Goku takes on the Red Ribbon Army. I fuck with that because the Android saga later was so fucking fire.
So my husband just said you go cooned out, and I was saying, I'm thinking to myself like, we ain't get no Hunter times Hunter, or we ain't get Demon Slayer.
No, I haven't. Hunter, v Hunter, or I don't know if it's Hunter v Hunter, Hunter by Hunter, whatever. Hunter x Hunter. So many niggas have told me to watch that, and whatchamacallit, and Bleach.
Yes.
And Bleach and Attack on Titan, and it's one other, but yeah. I haven't watched them, so it's whatever. So, I already know their top three, but I haven't watched them.
1 second, we gonna tie it in.
Yeah.
Tyrone, I know right now you're feeling good, but I will say this: somebody dropped the Discord link because we have an anime, like it's anime strong up in there. A Hamp trying to scratch his ear, but he sang a whole anime song once upon a time. But
I think Hamp agree with me. No, I'm saying before I got on the anime shit,
no.
I was
So you gave me before, but now you got to tell me who was your fantasy football quarterback. Who'd you get?
Oh,
who's your QB?
I don't. I have like 10 different leagues.
Who was the that you wanted to have this year and you got?
I don't remember. I don't.
Shame on you. Like
I'm a middle-late quarterback. Hold on. Just for the fantasy people watching, if you're an early quarterback drafter, you are a casual. You can take Lamar or Josh Allen in the 3rd round. I am perfectly fine taking Kyler Murray in the 10th or the 11th round for basically free. I could build up my whole running back core and my wide receiver core. I can draft a tight end in the 6th or 7th or 8th round or whatever. You niggas are wasting a 3rd round pick on a quarterback? Are you fucking kidding me? If anything, and if I really want to get a really good quarterback, I'll compromise and I'll go to like the 5th or 6th round and I'll get a nigga like what's the nigga? I'll get like Patrick Mahomes on a down year because he's had a couple bad years and the Eagles whooped his ass in the Super Bowl. I'll take Patrick Mahomes in the 6th round because he's on a value this year. Lamar Jackson, 5 years ago, I had him when he just got in the league, and I got him in like the 10th round. Now Lamar Jackson, you got to get that nigga in the 3rd round. He's the best quarterback in the league. So it's just how you build your team. But again, my team is lit. My team, a lot of my teams, Justin Herbert, Devin A-Chain, Jamar Chase. A lot of my teams got Drake London, Brock Bowers, the number 1 tight end in the league, fucking Jonathan Taylor. I got my teams are cooking. My team, I don't even got no Bucky Irvin shares. I know a lot of y'all niggas love Bucky, but I don't know. I'm not whatever. Bucky, cool. He a good running back, but I just think Rachaad White, that team, they're going to use Rachaad White on 3rd down. Rachaad White is too good of he's too good of a pass catching running back for them to not use it all. But again, my team.
All right, Ty, we gotta read the super chats real quick.
You had a good night. I'm glad you had a good evening. We're gonna do the super chat. The mods are gonna drop the Discord. So
if you ever bet money on fantasy, please invite me.
Thanks, Tiff.
Yeah,
thank you.
I don't gamble, Ty. I don't gamble.
I'm trying to get back on topic, and it's over with now.
What up, buzzin', bird, flip a dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin
There he is. Salute my brother for gifting 5. This might be risky memberships, man. Whoever got blessed with one, please maintain.
What up, buzzin', bird, flip a dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Salute to Harrison in the building. Gifted 1. This might be risky membership, man. God bless. Whoever got blessed with it, please maintain it. Harrison with the $5 says, Cali, ellipsis. Having a person that doesn't want you to cuss ain't a compatibility issue. It's a behavior issue. And with the $2 says, my enemy will say delete black male babies. Mike Brown with the $5 says, what's the list for women that they can agree on, and what's the list for men? How do we get everyone to buy into these 1 to 5 qualities that most agree on?
I think that's
Mike, I'm going to turn that into a show, Playboy. I'm going to
that's
turn that into a show. Somebody screenshot this for me. And it
gotcha.
to me. Appreciate it. Aaron with the $2 says, my enemies don't need me for nothing. Sun kiss. Aaron with the $2 says, do y'all think black men can be making this up in mass? No, I don't think they think that. I think that what they were asking for, Aaron, is a slight segmentation of understanding that this doesn't encompass all of black women. However, that trait also needs to be acknowledged, can rear itself.
Wait,
And it,
Ham,
and it,
can I?
and it,
Can I? Oh,
it's
not
hold on,
after you
Todd,
finish.
hold on.
My bad. My bad.
Yeah. And it's prevalent enough that it needs to be addressed, essentially. And then Aaron with the $2 says, this brother 3-time man's in them.
Brother.
All right, Ty, I gotta get out of here, Playboy. What's your final thought?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, because y'all know I'm my own man, so I don't stick up for men or women. I mean, as a general collect, I'll stick up for men in terms of, good men, good black men, or men with integrity, or men that with whatever, obviously. But men in general, just the entire population, I think a lot of these dudes they are chronically online, so they do rely on. Hold on, my bad. They rely on like internet reference points a little too heavily. Whereas dudes like me, well, first off, I'm banned from YouTube, so I can't even whatever. But even before even when I made it, even when I had a YouTube and I was talking about dating and I was debating people and bringing people on my StreamYard like you do, I was still trying to gauge their opinions versus my reality or other people's reality. Which I think Hamp and Mr. Fantastic, I think y'all do a good job of y'all are online, y'all are successful online, but y'all are real niggas. Y'all are just real life dudes. So when y'all talk, y'all bring in real life experience. So I think again, and I watch a lot of Edward Anderson, by the way. So I'm in the trenches. Like I know all black women aren't angels and this and that. I'm not no simp. I get it, but I do think some dudes they use the black manosphere and the online, the TikToks, the viral moments of escorts or black sugar babies or divestors or swirlers. I think they base too much of um their view of the world on that. So like when I see a divester or a swirler, I can juxtapose that to women I know in real life. Like I have regular white friends. I tell people my college was 51% white. I've been to white weddings. My white friends have black girlfriends. I literally have met white swirlers, or I'm sorry, I've met swirlers in real life. I've met black girls who aren't swirlers who met a white dude by chance, just because on some college shit, because her black friends was friends with a white nigga, and we all had girlfriends, and our white friend was single, and it was just some wingman shit, and we hooked them up. So I know black women on all sides of the spectrum. So you and Fantastic, I appreciate dudes like you for giving these chronically online guys, whether they're black or white, because I know a lot of white dudes, really most of the manosphere and incel niggas are white, but I just appreciate guys like you and Fantastic giving a nuanced perspective, even though y'all are online a lot too. But again, y'all aren't drawing the bulk of y'all conclusions from online. You and Fantastic, y'all had women before that, y'all had girlfriends, I think y'all fantastic. Got kids. You see what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. And I'm gonna wrap it up because I think I've been rambling past my time limit. So I'm gonna chill. I'll save it for. I'll join the next time. I'm gonna make sure I join your panel earlier next time. So you know what I
All
mean.
right.
I don't keep you up and shit. So my
No
bad.
doubt. Anytime, man. I
My
appreciate
bad.
you.
Callie, I'm so
You. It's all
I'm so
good.
sorry. Callie, tell your husband I said sorry. I know, we know Callie got options. We know the chick in the top right got a husband, I think, if I'm not mistaken, because she got nice curly hair and her husband like her glasses and she look quirky and blah 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 and she has nice quirky conversation and yada yada. So I get it. I'm the only single nigga on the panel. So if anything, let me shut the hell up. I'm gonna let y'all three get home to y'all spouses and enjoy the rest of y'all night. And I'm gonna shut up. But again, I do thank y'all for having me. And again, next time I'll join toward the beginning of the stream. I promise.
All right, no doubt, bro. I appreciate you. Hey, man, y'all jump in the Discord. Y'all want to finish the conversation. Tomorrow night show, I got like 3 or 4 things pending. We'll see where we end up, man. Do me a favor, as Dr. G stated, leave a comment after the show you heard. Make sure y'all hit the like button and all that. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Dope show today. Hope we got something out of it for sure. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And be out.
Closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.